podcast. Subscribe. All right, so Teofimo Lopez lost that fight. It is what it is. He just lost it. Now, if you take a look back through my channel, you'll see that I'm a pretty good Teofimo Lopez fan. I like Teofimo Lopez. I like his hyper athletic style. I like kind of the cockiness and attitude that he brings to the game. I like with the exception of him not wanting to fight Devin Haney, I like that he pretty much goes after the big fights. So I very much like the young man, but last night I saw it and you saw it and everyone else saw it. Even he saw it. He even looked down and he was talking to his father at the end of the fight, and he was basically like, do I still got it?
Bro, do I still have it? You do, man. Do I still got it? Yeah. Hey. Look at his face. As you can see.
And I want to say, Teofimo Lopez, yeah, you still have it. You just don't have it like you used to have it. Because when you fought at 135, you fought a lot of guys who you were basically a lot bigger than. So you pretty much had one punch knockout power at 135. You also fought a lot of guys like Nakatani, who, although gave you trouble, didn't have a lot of mobility. So because he didn't have a lot of mobility, it was easier for you to close that distance. It was easier for you to catch him. It was easier for you to get him out of there. And you fought guys like Lomachenko, who had a lot of mobility, who have the ability to fight off the back foot. But because you were much bigger than Lomachenko and much taller than Lomachenko and much longer than Lomachenko, you could sit back in the pocket and just let Lomachenko come to you. And when you let Lomachenko come to you, that basically made it so that you were the one who were able to counter. You were the one who was able to fight off the back foot. You were the one who were able to take advantage of your length, size, and athleticism. But when it comes to Sandor Martin was the one who was on the back foot. Sandor Martin was the one who had the longer reach. Sandor Martin was the southpaw, so when you lunged in, that distance that you had to lunge in order to catch him was going to be much greater than the distance that you had to lunge in on an orthodox fighter. It kind of looks similar to how Terrence Crawford fought Sean Porter, and once Terrence Crawford got Sean Porter's timing down and he switched to southpaw, how Sean Porter was lunging in, Terrence Crawford could just take a pretty good step back and he was like in the perfect position to counter. It was kind of like that, except for, Sandor Martin is nowhere near as good as Terrence Crawford. So, Teofimo Lopez didn't get his ass beat real bad like he would have if fighting a guy like Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford is a lot stronger, faster, sharper, has a better boxing IQ, hits a hell of a lot harder. So honestly, Teofimo Lopez kind of got off easy fighting someone like Sandor Martin, who was just landing a couple of significant shots each round, even though he was doing it cleanly, and who was actually making Teofimo Lopez miss a lot, actually frustrating him a lot. But he still does have it. But the thing is, he's going to have to adjust his style to be able to fight guys like that. There's no way moving forward, if you fight someone like Regis Rougarou Prograde, that you're going to get away with that. There's no way if you fought someone like Josh Taylor that you're going to get away with that. But I don't know. To me, I really do think that Teofimo Lopez kind of needs to get a new trainer. That's kind of what everybody's saying after this fight. You need to get a new trainer. You need to get someone who can provide you with some better head movement. You need to get someone who can show you how to work behind that jab against a southpaw. You need to get someone who can show you how to cut off that ring. You need to get someone who can show you how to have better footwork so that you can close the distance without lunging in, getting off balance. Because there was that initial knockdown was because he had his hands down, he was lunging in and he got caught, and because he was off balance, he went ahead and fell. It wasn't like he was buzzed or anything, he was just knocked off balance. But because it was due to a punch, and because he didn't cuff him like he did later on in the round where he caught him again, but he cuffed him, he almost, like Sandor Martin almost scored 2 knockdowns. But that just goes to show you that Teofimo Lopez really does have a lot of flaws in his game. A lot of those flaws were exposed against the George Kambosos Jr. fight that he had, where George Kambosos basically caught Teofimo Lopez lunging in, being too eager, and he was able to put him down a few times as well. But that's all I gotta say about that. Like, if Teofimo Lopez really wants to come back from this, if he really wants to become a better fighter, he needs to learn how to fight against fighters off the back foot. Every fighter, young or old, who went on to be an elite fighter at some point had to learn how to fight guys who fought off the back foot. You saw this when Canelo Alvarez fought against Floyd Mayweather, who's probably one of the greatest fighters who's able to fight off the back foot. He really struggled with that. And then you saw him also fought Andis Larry Lara, who he really struggled with that too. Then by the time he got to guys who like to fight off the back foot, like Caleb Plant or Billy Joe Saunders, he was able to better learn how to cut off that ring. And he had better head movement that helped him to cut off the ring. And he was throwing feints and he was coming in behind the jab. So he started to become better at fighting guys with that style. It still to this day gives him trouble when guys are able to do that. You saw that when he fought against Dimitri Bivol, but he still did become better at it. And I'm not saying that you have to be perfect at it, but you're going to have to learn how to fight against guys who are going off that back foot if you're going to stay in this game. Because once Devin Haney moves up to 140, if Shakur Stevenson decides to move up to 140, if Regis Prograis gets in the ring with Teofimo Lopez, if Josh Taylor gets in the ring with Teofimo Lopez, if he's not able to do that, if he's not able to be a more of a diverse fighter and stop relying so much on his athleticism and knockout power, he's gonna have a hard time. But like I said, he's still young. He still has time to get that stuff together. He still has time to make those small adjustments. He still has time to learn how to cut off the ring like an Errol Spence or like a Charlo. They're excellent at it. Or Canelo, excellent at it. He still has time to learn those things, to learn the subtle movement, to learn how to parry shots with the high guard, to learn how to constantly be prodding and poking to make your opponent a little bit hesitant while you step in and use that jab to close the distance. He still can learn how to make those micro adjustments and learn how to use his physical gift, that when he does get in, it's harder for them to clinch, because like Earl pushes his forearm back on a dude, and then he'll also get, you know, some good shots in by using his leverage. And you see Charlo doing that as well, you know, like little Charlo at 154, he does that also, and he's an orthodox fighter. He'll push that left hand against somebody, move their body back, and use that as an opportunity to throw in uppercuts and stuff, and he does it quick enough so that he's doesn't get tied up. So I think that's what he needs to do. He needs to watch a lot of film on Spence. He needs to watch a lot of film on Charlo. He needs to watch a lot of film on a guy like Canelo, and just learn how to cut off that ring. Because if he doesn't, like I said, he's going to have a very hard time. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm out. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe and support the channel. Turn on post notifications. Thanks. I'm out.